Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. Today we'll be making this fun and easy watercolor style cake covered with fondant and using edible paints. I've taken some buttercream and I'm sticking a 7-inch cake to my cake board. Because it's going to be covered in fondant, I do like to use ganache as the base on the outside. I've piped a ring of the ganache on the edge of the cake, and that'll keep the buttercream securely in the middle without it flushing out to the sides. Repeat with as many cake layers as you like. I've gone on with 3 and then creating a nice thick layer of ganache on the outside. You can create a crumb coat, pop it into the fridge to set and then create a second layer of frosting, but because it's not really going to bother me too much, the fondant will cover everything, so you won't really tell that there's a thick crumb coat with little crumbs in there. Not too fussed at all. Smooth it out. Clean up the cake board, and then with the lip raised, pop it into the freezer to set for a good 20 minutes. For your top tier, I've taken a 4-inch cake, filled it in with regular buttercream, and then crumb coated this one. Because we are going to see that final layer of frosting, we do want to hide the crumbs in this one. So I'm creating a nice thick layer, smoothing it out, bringing that lip of frosting towards the middle, and then refrigerating for at least 20 minutes. You could technically also pop it into the fridge for 10. In the meantime, you can take a sharp knife, run it under some boiling hot water, and then gently cut away that top lip to create super sharp top edges on your ganached cake. I'm trying to hold that knife steady with the very top of the cake. As I cut it, I dig inwards so that a fresh section of metal is touching at all times, and that way it just cuts through a lot smoother. Clear up the sides one more time with your spatula just to make sure it's all seamless, and then pop it back into the fridge. For the top tier, I've taken some of that buttercream, tinted it teal with a little bit of gel food color, smoothing it downwards across the sides, and then when you're happy with the coverage, take a buttercream scraper and go around the sides, making sure that it's all nice and flush and neat. I like to travel one time around without stopping just to make sure it's all flush and neat, and then bring the lip of frosting to the middle again. We'll be handling this with our hands, so I recommend popping it into the freezer if you can for a good 15 minutes. In the meantime, take some fondant. I don't make it myself, to be honest. This is Bakehouse fondant that I've used. Rolling it out to 3 millimeters in thickness. You want to flip it over from time to time just to make sure that it's not sticking to your countertop. You can use cornstarch or icing sugar as well, just to make sure that it doesn't stick. Onto the surface of the now set ganache, I'm adding on a very thin film of vegetable shortening. You could also use water, just something there to help stick your fondant to the cake. Drape the fondant over top, press out any air from the very top of the cake, and secure the edges. To apply the fondant to the cake, you want to unravel those pleats and gently massage the fondant to the sides. As you do this, it'll continue to stretch out, and then you want to really push it on the very base just to make sure that it all sticks nicely. Take a sharp knife and cut off the excess. You can knead that excess fondant back into a ball and pop it into a Ziploc bag so you can use it for a later project. I like to use 2 fondant smoothers together, and I clap them along the top edge to create nice sharp edges. Go around the sides and the top until it's all nice and smooth, and you can now start painting. This is just gel food color by Chef Master. I've got teal green and golden yellow. Add in some rosewater spirit and a cotton bud. I went really heavy with the rosewater spirit. I wanted it to be drenched, so that when I pounced on the cake, you have all these little droplets coming down, and that's what's really going to give this cake that true watercolor style effect. Go along the top and the sides as well, and then when you have decent coverage of green, switch to a different color. I'm just pouncing along the edges of the green as well, and again you want to go nice and heavy with that rose water to blend the colors and have patches of dark and light shades. go in with some red if you like, and then you can assemble your cake. These are bubble tea straws. I've just pressed them right up against the cake board at the base and cutting them flush at the top where they meet with the top edge of the cake. Add some buttercream and now we can stick the two tiers together. Making sure it's centered, pressing it down firmly and then adhering your ribbon just to hide the seam at the base of each tier. You can use double-sided tape to make sure that it sticks together, or you could pop a little pin at the base. And there is your complete watercolor style cake. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and give it a go. If you do, hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so I can see your awesome creation as well. Thanks again for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe for more cake decorating tutorials and we'll catch you in the next one.